Today we're looking at TikToks that will unlock new fears. Well, I'm pretty sure all of us have some sort of fear. In today's video, we're gonna look at TikToks that will unlock new fears that you didn't even know you could have. So today we're gonna look at that. Make sure to stick around for this one because this one gets very interesting. Remember to like and subscribe. Let's go.
These are videos humans were never meant to see. This video is a simulation of what happened to Alaska Flight 261 following a catastrophic loss of pitch control, killing all 88 people on board. This is real audio footage from the plane going down between the pilots and air traffic control. Just listen to how calm the pilots are. The plane went inverted, meaning it was flying upside down.
Alaska 261, we are in a dive here. Alaska 261 signature. We're at 26,000 feet. We are in a vertical dive. Not a dive yet, but we've lost vertical control of our airplane. Alaska 261, Roger. We're at 23.7, request. We got it back under control there. No, yeah. Alaska 261, steady condition. 261, we're at 24,000 feet. Kind of stabilized. We're blowing here, and we're going to do a little troubleshooting. Can you give me a block between 20 and 25? Alaska 261, maintain block altitude by level 200 through by level 250. Alaska 261, we'll take that block. We'll be monitoring the fleet. Alaska 261, you over here with me? Yes, sir. Plane's inverted, sir. And he just hit the water. Yes, sir. He hit the water. He's down. Okay.
Dude, could you imagine being on that plane? Yo, I know for a fact the people that were upside down were just freaking out, dude. That should be scary.
Three, two, one. Awesome.
What it will feel like to drown. At first you will reach for the top. As you sink, your ears will pop from the pressure of the water. Then you'll feel a burning sensation in your ear cavities. You will react naturally by kicking and jumping, trying to get to the surface. Your throat will begin to tighten. Your lungs will start burning. Then your entire body will feel like it's on fire. You'll eventually give up on trying to swim to the top. Your vision will start to blur. Your lungs will slowly fill up with water. Soon you won't be able to breathe. Then you will start to experience hallucinations. You'll feel calm and in a dreamlike state while your body slowly gets deeper and deeper. Your brain will then lose oxygen. You will eventually fall unconscious in 5 to 10 minutes. While you're unconscious, your lungs will explode.
So this photo is the reason you shouldn't put your feet up on the dashboard of a car. In 2007, Granny Keeley had an airbag deploy on her at 120 miles an hour. She was sitting passenger with her feet up on the dash, and when the airbag went off, her knees went right into her skull. Obviously, this led to a brain injury. Her 2 front teeth also fell out, but she lived, thankfully. She lived without a forehead for about 2 years until surgeons fitted a ceramic forehead into her skull. She had near constant headaches, and she developed gallstones because of the medication she was on. After they fitted a ceramic plate into her forehead, they injected fat from her stomach into it so it could look more natural. This is her today, so she looks very normal now. And of course, because she's in good spirit, she says her ceramic forehead is designer because it was made in Italy. She also spent a considerable amount of time educating people on why they shouldn't put their feet up on the dashboard. Because if you do, you could end up like this. And you might not be so lucky. So if you get anything from this video, stop putting your feet up on the dash. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. And as always, these videos are for informational and entertainment purposes only.
Fun.
Did you know that if you have a chair laying next to your bed while you're sleeping, that it could invite a ghost or a demon into your fucking room.
Dude.
I have 3 chairs next to my bed. Bro, think about all the movies that you see with the fucking rocking chairs that just rock by themselves. Imagine if you were just chilling and then you just look over and there's like your great grandmother sitting in the chair.
Dude, this chair that I'm literally sitting on right now is like always next to my bed. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing laundry today, so there's none on my bed, but what the ain't no what? I didn't even do that. Yo, did y'all see that? I hope y'all saw that. That's crazy. Well, you know what I'm saying? The ghost told you to like the video, so you might as well like the video. Can I do that again? How did that just happen? Yo, I'm so tripped out. But yeah, I'm doing laundry today, and this chair is usually always right here, like right next to my bed for this setup. So hopefully there's no ghosts ever sitting in it when I'm sleeping, because that'd be crazy. Well, that like was crazy. What the Remember to like the video, y'all.
Let's talk about another one of the worst things to happen at an amusement park, when a woman was thrown from a roller coaster 75 feet, then split in half. So this brings us to 52-year-old Rosa Esparza from Dallas, who was riding the Texas Giant in Arlington. This wooden coaster opened in 1990, then closed in 2009, then reopened in 2011. This ride has 3 trains with 6 cars per train, and riders are arranged in 2 rows that are 2 across, making a total of 24 riders per train. This ride reaches speeds of 65 and the highest elevation is 153 feet. On July 19th of 2013, Rosa gets on the ride and she's sitting behind her 2 kids. Rosa's in a seat by herself, and at one point during the ride, her daughter turns around to see her mom, Rosa, upside down in the seat, hanging on for dear life. Witnesses try to help and hold her down, but they can't, and she goes flying 75 feet from the ride and hits on a metal roof. When the ride pulls back into the station, her kids are freaking out, yelling for their mom, and then the ride is shut down and firefighters begin a search for her. It takes firefighters an hour to find her body, and when they do, they find her on the metal roof, wrapped around a support beam, and the lower part of her body is at the top of the roof, and the severed upper half of her body is hanging off the roof. 17 witnesses were interviewed, and one of those was the ride operator, who said that she remembered thinking that Rose's lap bar didn't look like it was all the way down, but the machine, like the safety mechanism, showed that it was locked. Other witnesses says that they heard her expressing concern that she didn't think that she was secured enough in the seat, but Six Flags reassured her that she was locked in. The ride reopened in September after Six Flags found that there was no mechanical error involved in this. The ride did go on to add restraint bar pads and seat belts. The family went on to settle a lawsuit with Six Flags, although the amount was not disclosed. The family's lawyer did go on to say that the Esparzas are very pleased with the settlement and appreciate the condolences.
Dude, screw the money. You know how traumatizing that must have been for the kids? Like, just imagine someone you know just flying off a roller coaster getting decapped. Like, that's crazy, man.
You know, every time that I go to the fair, people always ask me, why don't you ride the rides? They're exciting and thrilling. Well, I want you to watch this again, but in slow motion, and answer that question for yourself. You see, it's not the guy who threw up that I'm afraid of being. Because after riding ships for my entire life, I have a pretty rock-hard stomach when it comes to vomiting. No, it's more about being the guy who received the gift from the vomiteer, for absolutely no reason other than the fact that he was on the ride. And with that, I'm quite certain you're not going to be able to get that vision out of your head for the rest of the day. You're welcome.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I just want to let you know that your car light is on.
Hi, you are currently being recorded.
This is why you should always have a doorbell camera. This creepy video comes out of Phoenix, Arizona. And according to the family, this person came up to their door to warn them about their car light being left on, while someone else was lurking in the background. But after they eventually left, she checked her car and there was no light on. So she posted it to warn others in her neighborhood. But this next video is even more terrifying, and it comes from Della D, I'll tag her below. And she was awoken at 4 in the morning by a Ring notification. And this is what happened. Take a look.
At 4:16 a.m. a random woman walks up to my doorway acting strangely. She starts looking inside my glass door, then does this.
This is why you should think twice before laughing. In 1975, a man in England named Alex Mitchell sat down to watch some TV after a long day of work. He tuned in to watch his favorite comedy show, The Goodies. One of their sketches particularly amused him. He started laughing but found himself unable to quit. He continued laughing for a couple minutes, but when you laugh for 6 minutes, your heart rate begins to increase. 15 minutes passed and Alex continued to laugh hysterically. His heart rate began to increase dramatically, causing him to rapidly lose oxygen and lose control of his sphincter muscles. 20 minutes later, his body was deprived of oxygen and he had a stroke, causing him to die of laughter.
Another crazy thing someone's confessed to before passing. So this brings us to April 15th of 1972, when the body of 13-year-old Danny Croto is found face down in the Chicopee River. His body was found just miles from his home, and an autopsy revealed that he had died from fractures to his skull and lacerations to his brain from being hit by a rock. He was an altar boy at St. Catherine Siena Church, where Father Richard Levine served as assistant pastor. Also, just noticed I'm wearing an Avril Lavigne shirt filming this video. I did not plan that. But yeah, there's no connection between the two. He's a weirdo and Avril's super cool. Richard was very close with the Crotos, and he would often host Danny over for the night. So Danny would be staying over at this guy's house overnight, and then he would come home the next morning complaining of a stomach ache, and he would be hungover. Richard stayed doing weird things because on April 17th, just days after Danny was found, he called Danny's brother and said, "I'm sorry for what happened to Danny. He saw something behind the circle that he shouldn't have seen. It was an accident." He also reportedly asked the cops that if a stone was used and thrown in the river, would it have blood on it? Even after all of this weirdness and all this crap, the case still went cold. 20 years later, on June 26 of 1992, Richard would be arrested for essaying 2 underage kids. 2003, Richard would be removed as a bishop. Even after this, years and years still pass, and it comes all the way to 2021, and Richard gets COVID, and he's about to go. Finally comes clean to the cops that he took Danny to the river, assaulted him, and then left him there, then came back to see him floating down the river. He was quoted saying, "I just remember being heartbroken, seeing his body floating down the river, knowing I was responsible for giving him a good shove." After this, the district attorney was fighting hard to get the evidence sent to the judge to obtain an arrest warrant, but it was too late, and Richard had went ahead and died. Truly hope that sometime during Richard's life that he started to feel the guilt and suffer plenty for what he had done to these people, and if he's not feeling it, wasn't feeling it then, hopefully he's feeling it now.
Dude, that's crazy. That was a whole priest, man. That's why you can't trust anyone, I swear to God.
If you see this mark on your house, you need to get help seriously fast. If you see symbols outside your house, on the pavement, or even on the bricks of your house, you could be in danger. Criminals are leaving marks on houses for the ones they want to rob. All these different symbols mean different meanings. Alarmed, nervous, burgled before, good target, vulnerable female, too risky, wealthy. Whichever one they draw on your house means the one you are. And periodically they allegedly change the symbols to different meanings, so you can't write one on there yourself. This is happening everywhere and is extremely dangerous. So if you see this, you need to get help seriously fast. And make sure you follow me to stay safe.
Phobias you probably didn't know you had. Nomophobia. Fear of being without your phone or internet access. Autophobia. Extreme fear of being alone.
These are phobias you didn't know you had, part 2. Okay, so take a look at this photo. When you looked at it, did you feel any sort of fear or no? Or just anything at all? Okay, what about this picture? When you look at this picture, do you feel like you cannot walk towards that doorway? If you felt anything from looking at these photos, you might have nyctophobia, which is the extreme fear of darkness or nighttime. Now for the final test to see if you have nyctophobia is this video I'm about to show you. If you feel anything from watching this, you 100% have nyctophobia. These are phobias you didn't know you had, part 3. Okay, so take a look at this photo. If you look at it, do you get scared in any way? Or what about this photo? Do you feel like you just want to stay inside and not even look outside after looking at this photo? If so, then you might have astrophobia, which is the intense fear of thunder and lightning. This typically only affects children, but many adults still experience this fear. Astrophobia is also one of the most common phobias to have. But the final test to see if you have astrophobia is this video I'm about to show you. If you feel anything or get scared in any way, you 100% have astrophobia.
Something that can only be described as creepy. A man pulls up to a roadblock on a New Jersey highway. He's not approached by a cop, but a stranger who emerges from the shadows.
All right, y'all, do not fall for this trap. Do not fall for this trap. If you are ever driving in the middle of the night and you see 2 cones on each side of each lane and they are blocking the road, do not get out your car to move them. A lot of times someone would be nearby waiting on you to get out and they will rob you when you leave your car. Y'all be safe, bro. This is not a joke.
Honestly, anyone that's getting out of their car to remove those out of the road, why would you want to do that? If there's an option, right, to go around the cones, why not take the option to go around instead of getting out your car, mostly if it's late at night?
I'm literally stuck on them. He's taking me. His back's like picking the boat up. Okay.
Work on it a bit.
This terrifying video comes from the Outdoor Boys on YouTube. I'll tag it below. And while him and his son were hammock camping in the mountains of Alaska, they begin to hear what sounds like a large animal laughing outside their tent. And in the video, he chalks it up to being the wolves that are common in the area. But many have since speculated that this could not be a wolf and this could not be a bear. Thankfully, they were unharmed, but let me know, what do you think it is?
Ooh, it's bright. Got the fireplace turned around so I can work on it a bit. You hear that?
I don't know. I personally think those might have been wolves because I know that wolves kind of do, like wolves do laugh and they kind of have that sound to them. If you guys think it's something else, let me know down in the comments. But I personally think it might be like wolves or coyotes or something like that.
The fact that at one moment a 4- and 6-year-old were just sleeping and the next a 14-foot python had fallen onto them from the ceiling and then strangled them is absolutely insane. On August 5th of 2013, 4- and 6-year-old Connor and Noah Barth, who are brothers, are staying at their friend's dad's apartment. They're sleeping in the living room that day, and then the friend is sleeping in another room, as well as the dad. Friend's dad's name is Jean-Claude Savoie, and he owned a pet store below the apartment, and in the apartment was an enclosure that housed a 14-foot, 100-pound African rock python. So at some point during the night, the snake escapes its enclosure through a hole in the ceiling where a ventilator fan had been removed due to maintenance, and it's got direct access to the air ducts in the ceiling, and as it's making its way along the ceiling just collapses due to the weight of the snake, and it lands right on top of these boys who are sleeping. These two were sleeping on a mattress on the floor that was only located about 8 foot from the snake's enclosure. It was said that both boys during the day had been playing with farm animals, and they most likely still had that smell on them, so when the snake dropped on them, it took them as prey and it strangled them right away. Connor and Noah were found the next morning. Connor's body had multiple puncture wounds on it. He had many to his face and neck, as well as having hemorrhaging in his neck and pattern abrasions on his neck. Noah's body was found very similar with multiple puncture wounds and abrasions. He even had scales on his body. Police said the snake was acting aggressive towards them, and after catching it, the snake was euthanized. Vet found nothing in the snake's digestive tracts, leading him to believe the snake had at least not eaten in the last 24 hours. John Claude was charged with criminal negligence in March of 2015, but he was found not guilty by a jury in November of 2016. With all of this, I can only hope that when the snake fell on the boys, it really knocked them out of it, and they didn't feel any of the stuff that was happening to them.
Dude, I have yo, that's crazy. If that's that actually happened to one of my friends before. I was like, dude, that's crazy. If that's ever happened to you guys, let me know in the comments.
Yo, bro, what, bro? Yo, bro, they all through the glass, bro. What? Yo, yo, I just came to look like this. They all through this.
What is that? What is that?
New fear unlocked.
来干嘛呀？你是不是把我袜子又叼走了？把我袜子给我。
I'm crying. Bro gave him a gift. Yo, that's hilarious. Dogs do that all the time because they think to us that's like them giving us a gift. So that's hilarious. The whole time bro does not want a dead rat. That's scary.
Here are the darkest secrets behind Willy Wonka. Almost everything you see in the chocolate garden room was actually edible. The only thing you couldn't eat was the river, which was made from cream, water, and chocolate. But the cream ended up going bad a week in, and it smelled horrible on set. The flour Wonka eats in this scene is completely fake and made of wax. The directors actually forced him to eat it until the whole scene was over. The actress who played Violet actually had to give up chewing gum in real life because of all the cavities she got during filming. And the heavy makeup she wore on set actually got embedded in her skin, and when she went home, her skin was purple for months. The foam used in this scene was actually completely toxic. All the actors had a horrible allergic reaction to this and were hospitalized for days.
Kyle Plush had reached into the back of his Honda Odyssey for his tennis gear when the third row seat flipped over, pinning him against the floor. He was trapped, his chest compressed, unable to escape. But Kyle had his phone. He managed to call 911, and in his first call, he desperately pleaded, "I'm stuck inside my van in my school parking lot. I'm going to die here." 5 minutes later, Kyle called again, gasping for air, saying, "I'm almost dead." A dispatcher then sent officers to the school parking lot where Kyle's car was parked, but they never got out of their vehicle and checked each car individually. They just drove past the area and left, most likely thinking it was just a prank. Sadly, 6 hours later, Kyle's father found him dead, still crushed underneath the seat. The cause of death? Positional asphyxia. He was slowly suffocated by the weight of the seat. His death sparked outrage and reform, exposing major failures in the 911 system. His cries for help were real, but no one listened in time. Kyle's death was slow and excruciating. This poor teenager slowly suffocated upside down in his own car.
Your toothpaste probably has lead and other dangerous heavy metals in it. If you use Crest, Sensodyne, Tom's of Maine, Dr. Bronner's, David's, Dr. Jen, and others, you are consuming toxins. Most of 51 brands of toothpaste tested for lead contains the dangerous heavy metal. That includes toothpastes that were made for children or marketed as green. A company called Lead Safe Mama did the testing, and they also found concerning levels of highly toxic arsenic, mercury, and cadmium in many brands. 90% of toothpastes contained lead. 65% contained arsenic, just under half contained mercury, and 1/3 had cadmium. Most brands contain a number of the toxins. These toothpastes are breaking the law. They violate federal and state limits in the US, although experts say the limits are stupid and no level of these toxins are safe. Lead can hurt children's brains, harm kidneys, and cause heart disease, among other issues. Lead, mercury, cadmium, and arsenic are all carcinogens, which means they all cause cancer.
Dude, at this point, I think they just purposely want to poison us because everything has something in it. You know, my mom the other day told me that protein shit, like, what type of protein? Plant-based protein powder could contain lead in it. I'm like, why is there lead in plant-based protein powder?
Let's talk about one of the worst ways someone has died when a 76-year-old woman was left burning alive in her house while the fire captain was outside taking Snapchat videos. So this is the case of 76-year-old Loretta Pickard. On November 23rd of 2018, she calls 911 and says her house is on fire and she's on a walker, so obviously she needs help. So for 20 long minutes, Loretta sits on the phone hoping that she's going to be rescued and being told she's going to be rescued, only to never be rescued. The deputy county manager said that the house was mostly on fire and that it was too hot, but the log between the dispatchers and the fire crew says something different, and it says that they didn't even try to get into the home and that only half of the house was on fire. Loretta stayed on the phone with the dispatcher for 5 minutes while the firefighters were outside. She even asked, "They know I'm in here, right?" And you would think these firefighters would be doing everything in their power to rescue the person inside, but instead, the man in charge, fire captain of Polk County, James Williams, was sending a Snapchat video of the fire. Loretta was only 5 feet from the door and ended up burning up in this house. In July of 2019, the Polk County Commissioners will unanimously approve a $200,000 settlement to the family. As for the fire captain who was sending Snapchats, he got suspended for 24 whole hours. The fact that Loretta probably had the false hope that she was going to be rescued and then felt a little bit of relief when the firefighters arrived and she heard them outside the door, only for it to soon dawn on her that she probably wasn't going to be rescued and this was her last moment, is completely tragic and scary.
Never fails when landing in Mexico City. It is a laser freaking party every time. Do you know on average in the U.S. we get lasered 30 times per night? 30 times per night, on average, all the damn time. Tell you what, taking off out of San Diego, making a left turn and going up the east, Tijuana, lasering the hell out of me with that one. Usually their preferred color is green, and then down there in Mexico City, well, that illustration was red, but most of the time it's green as well. And it's like, what's the allure? I don't get it. Okay, yeah, I lasered an airplane. Yeah, funny go lucky, but it could really damage my eyes. And if you damage my eyes, cause temporary blindness, low to the ground with possible, if you hit it just right with the perfect strength laser, pilot incapacitation. That doesn't sound good. Doesn't sound good at all.
Dude, that's actually scary. I don't know why people would do that. Me personally, I believe in karma. So I feel like if I was ever supposed to be shining lasers, like ha 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 ha, that would come back. I'm on a plane, some other dumb kid is just like ha 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 ha, and then I'm the one that ends up in a plane crash.
Breaking news, TikTok is shutting down completely on Sunday, going dark. None of us will be able to access the app in America. That is what Reuters is reporting. The experts say TikTok has made this decision in spite of the fact that the law does not require TikTok to shut down. The law simply requires that the app stores, Google and Apple, no longer carry the TikTok app. But if you have the app on your phone or your iPad, you should be able to access TikTok fine and post videos and see videos. But according to Reuters, TikTok has made the decision unilaterally to go dark entirely and kick all of us off the service on Sunday from America. If you log in from an American phone or IP address or web address, a phone, IP, you will get a message from TikTok saying you're not allowed to access it in this country. It will send you to a page for more information, and I'm going to guess it's then going to ask you contact members of Congress. What I worry about here is whether TikTok is doing this to piss us off and to give us a motivation to contact Congress, because if you could use the TikTok app, you might not write to Congress, even though they say, oh, we're banned, but you can still use it, right? That doesn't give you a motivation. But if TikTok literally kicks us all off the app on Sunday and says you can't use it, you can't post, you can't, people like me, you can lose all your revenue, this is my job, folks, then you're much more motivated to contact Congress. This has me rather upset. I am also rather upset that TikTok didn't reach out to any of us.
Well, I'm recording this video on Friday. I literally just seen that video probably like 3 seconds ago. I'm recording this video on Friday, April 18th, Good Friday. If Sunday there's no TikTok, it's over. Like, why on Easter do they want to just get rid of TikTok? Like, that's crazy, dude. I know a lot of creators that make good money from TikTok. They're gonna be mad. Sadly, I don't really make money from TikTok, so it is what it is. But my YouTube content's about TikTok, so I guess everyone's gonna be feeling pain that day.
Y'all, what the Weeknd got going on? It's just an album cover, bro. No, the do y'all remember the person y'all called crazy, right? Orlando Brown. You remember y'all was calling him crazy? When he was talking about the panda eyes and shit? Look at this. That's the panda eyes right there. And we all know what that means. So I don't even gotta say it. And I can't even say too much anyway. The Weeknd just had a concert. What he said was a concert. But that really wasn't a concert, y'all. That was a demon summoning. Watch these 2 clips. I want y'all to see closely. Look what's on the screen, y'all. Look what pop up. Did y'all see it? Hold up. Bow. Hold up. We gonna pause it for y'all too. Bow. So y'all boy had that flashing in the background of his supposed concert. But that's not the only trippy shit that was seen. Y'all watch this clip. It was a demon in the crowd. But TikTok, this is strictly for entertainment purposes only. None of this is real. Y'all chill. Here y'all go. Watch the demon, y'all. Watch the demon. Look at the hands. People try to say, oh, that's just a girl with long fingernails. Fuck no. That shit ain't normal. Look at that. Bow.
I'm telling y'all right now, that was 100% a girl with long fingernails. Like 100%. I'm telling, like, replay the video. Replay it. All right, you don't believe me? Replay the video right now and pause it. And you'll literally see her fingers and her long fingernails. I'm telling you. Anyways, thank y'all for watching. This one was kind of fun. This was a fun video. This was a very interesting video. If y'all like the video as much as I like the video, let's try to get to like at least 2,000 likes. You know what I'm saying? Run up the numbers in the algorithm. Get some more people to see the video so they can have fun with us. Remember to subscribe, and I'll catch y'all in the next one, man. Peace out.